This is Cougar News.
Hello, good evening. I'm Tie's wife for your Cougar News Brief, and here's the latest from the newsroom. It was just over a week ago that America elected a new president. Some are still coming to terms with results, and they have voiced their frustrations, including a local group that protested President-elect Trump. Sammy Gebers has more.
When Donald Trump was announced to be the president-elect,
he's run the most bigoted, misogynistic, and racist presidential campaign we've ever seen.
It was a bit controversial.
Don't really want our country to go to the dark side, if you will. We deserve an EPA that works.
Which is why various protests broke out around the country, including a Love Trump's Hate gathering on the corner of McBean and Magic Mountain.
We're very hopeful and we're very motivated, and we're going to stand up against hate and prejudice and the bullying that is to come for the next 4 years. Woo-hoo!
Just like the big Election Day announcement, the protest was received with varied responses.
We've gotten mixed reactions. We've gotten a lot of supportive people, and we have gotten some slurs and stuff like that, profanity.
The contentious president-elect has left many Americans with the impression that the country is headed into rocky times.
He's been a bully throughout the entire election, and I really don't see that that's going to change.
But whether you support Trump or not,
that's not my president, because I don't think that Trump is fit for the presidency.
These protests are to make sure that we're heard.
The voices of protesters are being heard around the nation. Reporting for Cougar News, I'm Sammy Gebers.
With the conclusion of the presidential election, the White House is now in transition. Cougar News reporter Timitaya Oshalesi spoke with Dr. Majid Musleh about the process.
With the conclusion of the presidential electoral process, we wanted to speak to Professor Dr. Majid Musleh of the Political Science Department to give us the to-do list of our new presidential-elect, Donald Trump.
Because there are hundreds of government jobs, positions that need to be filled by the incoming administration.
After 5 days of being named the presidential-elect, Donald Trump has named Reince Priebus as his chief of staff. But how important is the chief of staff to be named so quickly?
The chief of staff is the second most important person in the president's circle.
Donald Trump has taken time to give his first interview to CBS's Leslie Stahl to talk about the major key issues he spoke on his campaign. Dr. Musleh breaks these down, giving us some insight on his statements.
So I walked away rather positively, and I hope he maintains the same course.
However, many have not responded positively, with protests spanning all over the country.
The protesters, as much as they're free to articulate their preferences, they need to be mindful of the fact that they need to respect the constitutional process.
Which was the reality President Barack Obama had accepted in inviting presidential-elect to the White House to discuss a smooth transition in power.
So this is nothing out of ordinary. President Obama invited Donald Trump to pay a visit to his office. They discussed transition issues, and I'm pleased to hear that President Obama has pledged that this transition would be a smooth transition.
As I'm sure we all are. With Cougar News, this is Timitaya Oshalesi.
Thanks, Timitaya. The COC Board of Trustees welcomes one new member, while an incumbent managed to keep her seat. Adele Alonzo and Michele Jenkins share their feelings with Cougar News.
I'm feeling very good about the results of the election. I'm excited about having been elected for the Area 2 seat, and wanted to come to tonight's board meeting to thank Mr. Fortine for his services on the governing board. I wanted to congratulate Michele Jenkins for her re-election to the board, and then also let everyone else know that I'm very excited about my own election, and I look forward to working with all of them.
I feel great. You know, I really love doing this, and I believe I'm really good at it. I'm very knowledgeable, and I'm a former student, and now have had years of experience as a trustee. And I've been on part of the trustees that have passed the bond measures, and I think it's really important that we spend those dollars as we said we're going to spend. So I think the consistency is good. I've had a lot of involvement at the state level, so I know that consistency of a board and on a board and trustee and the chancellor is really important to the success of a college. I'm very excited. I'm very pleased. I'm really happy for the support from the community, and that's what it takes. And so I feel like a vote of confidence by all of the people that voted for me. So I'm very pleased.
High school students have a lot to worry about. Homework, extracurriculars, and all types of sports eat up a teenager's time. But for one Golden Valley player, fatherhood is also in this playbook. Sammy Giebers has the story.
For students at Golden Valley High School, the football game is often the centerpiece of a Friday night. Tai Brown, the ball carrier. And in the middle of all of the music and cheering, there's the average athlete.
I do. I really do enjoy watching him play. I'm sad it's his last year.
But Tai Brown is not the average football player, or high school student for that matter.
He comes in and immediately takes on the responsibility of fatherhood.
What if I put it back in there?
He comes home from practice to a 2-year-old son.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a great source of motivation. He comes to every game. He's out there running around.
He's everywhere running. Hold on, I have to go get him.
Tai is still with Aubrey Linnel, the mother of his child, and life for the young couple can be a little hectic.
Having to adjust, like, okay, he needs to go to bed at this time, he needs to eat at this time, and what are we gonna do about this? You're changing him this time, I'm changing him this time, like, so.
Balancing school, football, and his son Noah was a challenge. It was very difficult at first.
Now it's just a part of my lifestyle, so I don't even see it as a difficult situation anymore. I just see it as my life.
Support comes from the couple's parents.
We're going to take the same route. It's just going to include the baby. We have to incorporate him in there.
And Tai's support on the field comes from Noah himself.
After the game, he normally runs the field and just runs around and likes to mess with the ice.
He just likes to run out and he's like, ice, ice. I'm like, don't touch it, please don't touch it. No. He's so energetic. And sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I shouldn't be feeling like I'm out of breath. I'm 19.
And while this teen couple has their hands full.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, you want to give her the plate? Okay.
No.
They defy the typical stereotype that high schoolers can't be successful parents.
Give me a kiss. I just knew in my heart that I was going to take care of my son, and I've just been doing it ever since.
Reporting for Cougar News, I'm Sammy Giebers.
A hallmark of the Media Entertainment's Art program here at College of the Canyons is the professional experience of its professors. Cougar News reporter Monica Rodriguez spots one of those professors.
Jeff Baker, head of the Department of Media Entertainment Arts at College of the Canyons. Jeff teaches 3D computer animation, ZBrush, a digital sculpting program, and advanced animation. Background was in...
I was in broadcasting after I graduated from film school at Penn State University. I worked at a television station doing news photography, news videography, before I went into animation.
Baker decided to go into animation after working in TV news.
I got tired of lugging camera equipment around, so I went into, they offered me an opportunity to learn some animation equipment. This was in the 80s, so things were just beginning, and it took off from there.
1 year ago, Baker used to be the head of the animation department. COC changed their programs to become...
The MEA department, Media Entertainment Arts, started, we combined 4 or 5 separate departments, so there was a separate animation department, a separate video department, a separate filmmaking department, a separate sound arts department, a separate journalism department. And we decided that we'd bring all of these separate departments together, both to form one stronger department, as well as to give our students the ability to experience different facets of the same media entertainment industry. So if you're a filmmaker, you need to know about visual effects. If you're an animator, you need to know how to record sound. So our idea was to make kind of a holistic department out of individual departments. When we combined, there were myself, Dave Brill, who does the new media journalism, and John Amador, who headed the sound arts. We decided that we would take turns doing department chores, the chair chores.
Baker will be adding future classes for the MA program, including virtual reality for film, video games, and motion capture. For this week's Cougar News Spotlight, I'm Monica Rodriguez.
A seminar was held at College of the Canyons to help promote health and mindfulness, all while distressing yourself. Here's more. College of the Canyons held an open to the community health and mindfulness seminar, where a therapist came to give hopeful advice on stress and how to deal with other health factors.
Is a state of well-being, right, in which the individual realizes his or her own abilities, so we kind of, okay, we know what we're doing, and can cope with the normal stresses of life.
Students share their experience and thoughts.
I didn't really realize a lot of what she talked about, mindfulness and just being aware and present in your not focusing on other things and just being in the moment. That was really inspirational for her to talk about that.
It's breath meditation, body scan, what we call kind of going over the body, walking meditation, so different types of things.
Honestly, the meditation experience, I came out of that literally feeling so much more focused. Like the entire rest of the seminar, I was just on it, just focusing on her, just what she was saying before the meditation. It was kind of I was I'm tired, I'm hungry, I want to go home. Now afterwards, it was wow, yeah, I can just sit here and relax and just listen to her talk. It's really nice.
What we're trying to do is increase wellness. So that's been the purpose of this seminar, along with many outreach events, is that we don't want to wait for students to get sick or have issues. We want to really talk about how to prevent, right? Early intervention and prevention. And so by talking about things that can create wellness, such as mindfulness meditation, socializing, getting early help. So that's kind of our goal, is to increase wellness overall.
Reporting for Cougar News, I'm Tiese White. Art lovers are sure to be interested in the news exhibit at COC Art Gallery. Here's Tim Strong with more.
The intent really in viewing this work is to create an introspection about the gravity of nationalism and extremism.
John Eden's Roundels is the latest art exhibit presented by the COC Art Gallery. Cougar News spoke to gallery director Larry Hurst about Eden's inspiration for the piece.
This particular artist named John Eden grew up out here in Newhall in the late 50s, so he's an older guy. He had a real life-changing experience as a child out here, and then which stuck with him, and he realized that it was sort of a post-traumatic stress experience.
Eden also drew inspiration from his service in the Air Force during the height of the Cold War.
He served time in the United States Air Force as a military police, and he was guarding B-52 bombers that were fully loaded with nuclear weapons. This was during the Vietnam War. And the gravity of that, looking at these beautiful machines and realizing that it was paradoxical, that they represented great evil and death and destruction. That really influenced him as well.
The Roundels exhibit will be presented at the Art Gallery until December 8th. For Cougar News, I'm Tim Strong.
Holiday shopping starts early in Valencia. Betty Varilla has more.
It's a SUV fine craft show. I believe it's been going for 26 plus years. Today, or this weekend, we have 40 vendors, but we've had anywhere from
80 to 120.
Mm-hmm.
We had an all-time high, 120 one year.
We have some holiday decor booths. We have jewelry booths. We have a couple booths that upcycle wine barrels, and they have teapots. They turn into chimes. We have a wood carver. We have soaps and lotion. We have a great variety of vendors at the Fine Craft Show this weekend.
We have some artists too. We have prints and paintings, oil paintings.
Yes. Having the Fine Craft Show in a park, it's nice because it brings their family here, because there's a playground, there's a grass field, it's you bring your dog. It's really nice. Animals are welcome.
Get an early start on shopping, and even though the weather's really warm today, you can't help looking at Christmas things and thinking, what do I have left to buy? One woman did say she had bought some things at a booth that were unique. She had been trying to figure out what to get her friends because they already had everything, and she found some unique items here.
Yeah.
This booth I sell repurposed wine barrel items out of wine barrels or whiskey barrels. And I use the staves to make candle holders, coat racks, lamps. Some go to auctions and art antique stores to get lights and various things to make into lights.
To get out there and don't be afraid, because that is what creates the most beautiful art. This is the first time that I've been in this show. I'm a member of the Santa Clarita Artists Association, and I won the first place Blue Ribbon Award for my piece, which is out in the front of the booth there, called Wild Feathers.
This turned out to be another sunny day here in Valencia. Reporting for Cougar News, I'm Betty Varela.
COC football finished the regular season last Saturday with a 14-10 road win versus Bakersfield College with a defense effort led by Dorian Gerald's 3 sacks. The win earned COC a spot in the Golden State Bowl versus Mount San Antonio College Saturday night. In volleyball, our COC women defeated LA Mission last Friday, 3-0, with a 6-1 record in conference. The 13th ranked Cougars have a chance to clinch a WSC East co-championship when they travel to Bakersfield tonight. And finally, in soccer, our COC men's and women's teams finished the regular season with different levels of success. The men lost their season finale 1-0 against Citrus College to end their season with 4 wins, 5 losses, and 1 draw in conference, missing out on the postseason. COC women's finished soccer the regular season with 3 straight draws, including last Friday's final versus LA Pierce. They'll enter the Southern California Regional Playoffs at the number 3 seed, where they'll host the winner of Citrus and Santa Barbara on Saturday night. And that does it for tonight's Cougar News Brief. I'm Tiese White. Don't forget to visit us on the website at cougarnews.com and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Good night.